Hi, my name is Jillian Hofer, and I'm going to tell you about my ceremonial speech and the vlog with the questions over our semester experience and our questions for our ceremonial speech project. How do you think you have advanced as a public speaker during this semester? I think that I'm a lot more comfortable talking in front of people, and I have a lot more emotion in the way I talk. I use more tone in my voice. I use actions such as putting out my fingers or taking steps. So I feel a lot more comfortable in my speaking, and I thought I gained a lot of experience through this class. What is the most important concept or theory you've learned from our textbook? Did it apply to your everyday life? I thought that ethics was one thing that I learned a lot about, which involves moral and the specific moral choices to be made by a person. I thought this was a great way to just talk about my morals, because that is something that you use in your everyday life, and it's like principles that people kind of follow by in your life. It's in chapter 9, and it's on page 70. Recommend to me your instructor. What would you do, start, stop, and continue if you were teaching this course next semester? I would just continue doing what we did this semester. I thought the outlines helped so much. That just helped me prepare me for my speech more, and that was due the week before, so then on my speech I was so much more prepared for it, and you didn't really have that much time to procrastinate because you already knew about all the topics you should have been talking about. And I thought our instructor was great, very considerate, and I thought that I wouldn't change anything because it was a great class and I actually learned a lot. Okay, my ceremonial speech questions. What was the purpose of the speech? It was to tell you more about Leonardo DiCaprio and my personal views on Leonardo DiCaprio, and I just wanted everyone else to know how good he was with the wildlife and charities and his acting. How did you work to make sure your speaker's ethos was high? I made sure by using a lot of sources. I used a couple sources in mine, and I made sure that I used a person that was likable, someone that was more known, like Leonardo DiCaprio. Was your technology adequately compared in terms of audio, quality, clarity of video, image, and satisfactory recording device charged and ready to go? We used a camera on a tripod, and it was charged and it was ready to go. I made sure and I looked at the charging percent before we did it, and I looked at it the day before to make sure that it was at least charged half. And it worked really well. The clarity was great. The classroom that we worked in was great, and our teacher that let us work in the classroom was really considerate of our speech. And I thought everything went through great on this last speech. In terms of structure and organization, what felt odd and what felt natural to you? I thought that the thing that felt natural was talking about Leonardo DiCaprio because I've liked him as an actor for so long. Something that felt odd was kind of talking through having to say stuff that was on other people. It wasn't just my opinion. I didn't think that he was that, I liked him because the way he acted. I didn't really know about his charities or his foundations. I didn't know about that much. So that was quite odd for me, but overall it was a good speech. How did you consider your audience when developing your speech? I considered them by making sure I put in words that they know how to use or say. Things that Leonardo DiCaprio was in. I said something like The Great Gatsby and The Titanic because those were one of his most popular movies. How did your audience respond to your speech? I thought they responded well. My audience said that they liked it, and they said that overall I had a pretty good speech. The ceremonial speech is all about connecting with your audience through pathos. What means of pathos did you use? I talked about my feelings and how much I liked Leonardo DiCaprio. Do you feel comfortable using emotions in your presentation? I thought that I was fine with emotions now, and it was pretty easy. What did you do in your speech that worked and what didn't work? I worked in my speech. It worked for me just to talk about something that I was really interested in. Something that didn't work was more of my nonverbal cues. I wasn't very good at that. But overall, it was a pretty good speech. Thank you for listening to this video.